All right, next game up on the docket is Army and Rice. Army is laying just about 9.5 everywhere in this game, and the total, I believe, is at 53 or 52.5. Yes, that is right. It opened 51. It's kind of come up. There's also 110 actually, or a couple tens. I haven't actually looked at the lines for this game in a little while, so it's popped up to 10. Like Chris Bookmaker, 5 dimes, a couple spots here in Vegas as well. So it's more like 9.5, 10, and it's an interesting spot for people that are following along. Rice is a team that just got crushed by Western Kentucky. It's a team that kind of had some not high hopes. I mean, as high as hopes can be for a team like Rice, but uh, they're a team that relies on the run. The matchup versus Western Kentucky was just as poor as possible. Ultimately, they got behind when Western Kentucky was just slinging the ball against them, scored a few times, and at that point, it took Rice completely out of their game. On the flip side, you have an Army team that just won outright against Temple as you know between 14 and 17-point underdogs, depending on when you bet it or if you bet it. And so they're a little fat and happy. I know my numbers lined this 8.5. I knocked it down a point because there's a chance that Army is a little flat. So I made it 7.5. This one takes balls. There's not a ton of value, obviously, between a 7.5 and a 9.5. Now that there's some tens, at 10.5, I'd probably have some interest in Rice. They're a team that, like I said, relies on the run, but they know how to defend the run. They defended the option multiple times the last few seasons, and here they are again against Army defending the option. It's a game that plays a lot more to their strengths. It's slow down, control, run game, and so Western Kentucky again is just a bad matchup for Rice, and so it's kind of a buy low on Rice, sell on Army's big upset win over Temple. I'd need 10.5 before I actually bought, but maybe we'll see it now that there's a lot more tens out there than I actually had recalled from this morning last time I really looked at it. So yeah, I think that's it in the game. The total spot on. I had it right at the number 52.5, and there's some 53s. It's come up from the 51 open, and that's not surprising. I think 53 is a pretty good number. Anywhere in that range, obviously 51 and 53. Nothing worth betting. That's the point. So yeah, just look at the site. That's the one thing that I think Rice is ultimately the team I'm gonna have to go with. For those that are following that against the spread challenge I'm doing, I have to bet every single game on the board against the spread. Kind of if I had to pick a side, I have to hit 52.38%, which if you don't know the significance of that number, that is the break-even point, laying minus 110 forever. And so my bet is that I can, against some friends saying I can't, hit 52.38% betting every single game against the Pinnacle Thursday line or later. I mean, minimum Thursday at noon Pacific time. So I have to wait. I can't hit openers essentially is the bet. So I have to wait till like Thursday or Friday and then send those out. And I did really well in the first week. So this is one for sure I'm taking. This is a strong lean. Again, I hate that word, but it's not a lean. It's a side I do like, but mathematically I'm going to need 10 or 10.5, and there are some tens. So I'm getting very interested in that side. But for the challenge, I'm for sure taking Rice. Never laying it with Army here. Another look might be Rice first half if Army is a little flat and slow early on. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on. I think the next video is Ohio, Kansas, and that one's an interesting one as well.